Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of Don't Starve, the board game. Don't Starve is a cooperative roguelike survival game based on the popular video game. It takes place in a strange world full of odd creatures, fantastical biomes, and hidden dangers. We'll craft tools, fend off monsters, explore haunted landscapes, forage for food, and try our best not to succumb to the cold and madness. This video is sponsored by Glass Cannon Unplugged. That means they paid me to make this video to show you how Don't Starve plays. Their Kickstarter campaign launches on September 30th, so if you're interested in checking out the game, please click on the link in the description below. Now I went ahead and I got everything set up for a solo game. This is a prototype. It's a stunning one, but it's still a prototype, so please keep that in mind. Today I'm playing as Willow. I've taken her ability cards and set her health, hunger, and sanity, her focus tokens, and her starting item according to her setup card. I'll be using the acrylic standees for this playthrough, but my demo also came with minis. You can check it out right here. Now this one's 3D printed, but it gives you an idea of what they'll look like. I'm a big fan of acrylic standees, so I'm going to be using those. We start here on the central portal tile. Don't Starve, the board game, is scenario based, so the final game is going to have a bunch of different scenarios to choose from, and you'll be able to play them in any order. One of the scenarios, called Last Wish, will allow you to randomize the goals, and it's designed for repeated plays. Now unfortunately, this prototype only comes with one scenario, Feast of the Pig King, and so that's the one we're going to be playing today. The first two scenario cards show you how to set up the board. You're going to want to take the number of each biome tile as shown, and then just shuffle them up. And then you're just going to lay them out in the configuration that is shown there, as I've done. Up at the top of one of the cards, it shows which season you're going to be playing in this case winter. So I took the winter weather cards and I shuffled them, and then revealed one. I've also set up the daily needs tile based on the difficulty that we're playing. In this case, we're playing on normal. Let the feast begin. You whoosh through the portal and blink at the light. Before you, the Pig King reclines in delight. His subjects set tables, the banners hang high. A grand night of feasting is now drawing nigh. Our customs are ancient, his plumpness insists. You'll host this affair, no use to resist. Since you've just arrived, the task falls to you. The food must be perfect, so see the job through. In turn, he should grant you some nuggets of gold. You've struck stranger bargains, if truth must be told. Okay, it tells us to place card 502 on the portal tile and to reveal cards 503 and 504. The Pig Feast. A circle of totems stands tall and burns bright to fend off the darkness that governs the night. Within, all the pig folk shall shortly convene to guffaw and gorge upon morsels obscene. So these cards are giving us our first objective, which is basically we need to forage for food and resources that are shown on this card. And we want to complete rows or columns or diagonals. And because we're playing a single player game, we need to complete 2 of those. The track on the right is giving us a timeline to do it. We don't have all day, so we want to try to complete this as fast as possible. We have kind of a branching path here. If we don't do it in time, then something else is going to happen. I'll explain all of this more as we go along, but I'm just excited to start playing. So how about we just jump on in and get started? The game lasts 6 rounds, and at the beginning of each round, we have a preparation phase, but we skip that in the first round. So we're going to jump straight into the action phase. During each action phase, we get 6 turns. On every turn, you can first move if you want to, and then you can take an action. I think for my first turn, I will move. And so when you move, you can just go to an adjacent location. Diagonal does not count. But because some of these are overlapped, I can go, here, 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 here. I actually have 6 locations to choose from. I'm just going to come over to this one. And when it's unrevealed, you reveal it first. So each of these tiles represents a different biome. And at the moment, there isn't a location there. When you move in, you are just sort of in the biome, but you haven't sort of found a location. In order to do that, you need to take an exploration action. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take an exploration action after my move. And that's where you come over here to these different location cards. This is the biome here, and I can pick either the top card or the bottom card. Now, the reason I might choose differently is because you can see there on the top, you can see what you're going to get for exploring it. In this case, I'm going to get some straw, I guess. I don't know the specific names of any of these goods, so I'll just call that straw. So if I didn't want straw, I could choose the bottom card and maybe get something else. But I think straw is fine, so I'll take that and reveal it. I'll grab my straw, and here on our player board, we have 10 spaces where we can hold, food and resources. You also need to set an exploitation marker every time you explore, and it always starts there in the middle of the track. Now, there's a lot on this location card, but you can see here we have a little frog-like enemy in the middle. And if you look above them, they have a 3 attack, and they're on a red banner. You see how that banner has a red background? That means that's a hostile enemy. Anytime you explore a location that has a hostile enemy, they're going to give a little attack on you. But rather than doing their full 3 attack, they're just going to roll 1 attack die. And that's what these blue dice are. These are the enemy attack dice. Now, if I had an item or something that I wanted to use, I could use it now, to protect against this attack or something. But I don't really have anything. So we'll just roll this and see if it hits us. Okay, so that's an evade symbol. So if we were attacking it, it could use those to evade our attacks. But in this situation, it's not going to do anything to us. We could also look over here to this side to see if they have any sort of special ability that they get when they roll an evade symbol, but they don't. If they had rolled something like that, we can see there they would have done 1 damage to us. There's also this side here, which we get to decide whether it's an attack or an evade. And then there's like a special side where a lot of enemies will have special abilities that will come up if they roll that. This frog only has a special ability if it rolls 2 of those. And that's what that means over there. And then there's a side that's both an attack and an evade. So we'll be seeing more of this dice later. But there we go. That was our first turn. And we have this little dial here, so we can turn it. So this way. There we go. So we now have 5 turns left. Now for our second turn, we could, move and go to a different biome and then explore that. We could even just stay here and explore again at this same biome, in which case we would just remove that location and get a new one. So that's the cool thing. You can keep exploring at the same biome on the same tile. We could also stay here at this location and interact with some of the things that are here. You can see here we have these yellow flowers. So we could take an action just to interact with those yellow flowers. It shows there we would get some more straw. And then we would roll our character die. Now, I'm not actually doing this, but I'm just showing this off. We would roll the character die, and depending on the number, in this case, if we got a 4 or a 5, we could gain a little bit of sanity back. Instead, we could come over here and interact with this pond. But right there, it shows that we actually need a fishing rod in order to be able to do that. Well, how do we get a fishing rod? Well, that's what this crafting book is all about. In here, we have a bunch of items that we can craft. So you can see here we have some armor that we could craft. In fact, look at this. We could get sort of some straw armor with 2 pieces of straw. So we could go to these yellow flowers, get another straw, and then as a free action, crafting is always a free action. You can do it at any time. We could spend those 2 straw in order to get this card. And that would give us some protection from, enemies, like when this hostile creature attacked us. Also have a nice weapon here. Need stone, a twig, and some straw. Got a couple more weapons. And here we have a bunch of different tools, you know, axes, pickaxe, shovel, and boom, right here. In order to get a fishing rod, we need a twig, and then we need like some yarn or something. Or string, I guess. Definitely don't have any of that yet. Here's some other things. Some hats, some different things to wear. Protect against the cold or the rain. And there we go, a few more hats. I think since I don't have a fishing rod, I will come back here when I do. So let's just keep exploring, maybe go to a different biome. So let's move down here. Ooh, okay, so this is a swamp biome. Ooh, we can see here, if we explore that top card, we'll get some stone. That seems like a good idea. Yeah, so let's do that. We'll go to the muddy rubble. So there we go. We've moved. We've taken an explore action, and we have another hostile creature. We got a weird bug here. So it's going to do a little hostility roll against us. Again, just one die. It just got that purple special side. It didn't hit us, so we're getting really lucky with those hostility rolls. That was our second action. Okay, for this one... Oh, I forgot my stone. Looks like there's two different types of stone. Maybe this is more like flint or something. Anyway, it's that type. So we have a cursed grave here that we could interact with, but we would need like a hammer. We got the wrong kind. We would actually need, I think that's stone. So we don't have what we would need in order to get that hammer. This feels like a place that we want to come back to later. Once again, I think I'm just going to keep exploring. I'm interested to see what's down here. Okay, it's another biome just like that one. We'll give it an explore. So do we want this prairie that's on top that would give us more of this? That would let us get this this guy right there, that sort of straw skirt thing. I wouldn't mind having a little protection. Let's go there. We'll just go to this prairie. And here we go. We have this bee here, but you can see the background not red, so this isn't a hostile creature. That's nice, so we don't have to roll a hostility for exploring here. And also, if you interact with anything on a location with a hostile creature, it will make that hostility roll again. So every time you interact with a spot with a hostile creature on it, it's going to roll that hostility. This is nice. We can interact with these without having to worry about that bee. Now we have this rabbit hole here, but we would need a trap. Let's see, what is that trap? Ah, stick and straw. Yeah, we don't have a stick yet. We could interact here and either get some straw or some stone. I think as a free action, I will go ahead and craft this straw armor. So we'll grab one of these. We are able to hold 8 different items at a time. And so there we go. We can use this, you know, anytime we're attacked, and we can protect ourselves from 2 hits. And again, that's just a free action, so that doesn't hurt us here. We still have 3 turns. I kind of just want to get the lay of the land, to be honest. So I'm just going to keep moving around. We'll move over to here. Again, we can't go diagonal, so we couldn't go up here. Ah, here we go. So here's a forest. That should be helpful. Yeah, you can usually get wood in a forest, but look there. If we take that one, we're going to get some fruit, and that is actually something that we need for the feast. So maybe that's a good idea. I actually think I don't want to take that right now. I'm going to take the card from beneath. Okay, it's the spooky woods, which sounds a little ominous, but at least we will be getting some wood. Or a twig, anyway. Oh boy, and we have a scary bat here. Very hostile. So it looks like if the bat hits us, it's only going to do 1 damage. I think I'm going to not use my armor. You know, if it hits us, then it just does 1 damage, and we'll just take that. Oh, perfect. So we can actually choose whether it hits us or it does an evade. We'll choose the evade, so it doesn't hit us. That's perfect. We've been getting lucky with the hostility. All right, so we have this haunted tree here. We would need an axe. Yeah, look at that. We can build an axe with what we have. And that would give us some actual wood, not just twigs. We have a slight problem in that we need food by the end of this round, but yeah, I tell you what, we're going to build an axe and we're going to chop down this haunted tree. So that's going to cost both of these. And now we're down to 2 actions. So we're going to take an interact action. We're not going to move. We're going to take an interact action here on the haunted tree. We have the axe, which we'll use. And because there's a hostile monster here, it's going to do a hostility roll against us. So we're going to be rolling both our character die and this monster die. And once again, I'm not going to use my armor. Wow. So once again, the monster missed, so that's nice. And here's what we rolled here. We rolled a 5, which means that at this haunted tree, we're going to get this wood automatically. If we rolled a 0 through a 3, we would get a twig. 4 to a 5, we get that thing, which I believe is called... It's called something like nightmare fuel or something like that. I can't exactly remember. It has a use, which I'll explain later. But what I want to point to is on this die, you see those 2 broken sword symbols there. This is how we deal with durability of our items. And so in this case, we would look at our axe that we used. And you can see at the top, it shows those same 2 broken swords. That means that anytime 2 broken swords show up when we roll this die and we're using that item, the item degrades. We would flip it, and then if it degrades again, it breaks completely, and then we return it to our crafting thing. We have to recraft it. Now on this side, we can actually spend gold to repair it. I actually don't want it to break, so I'm going to spend one of my focus tokens. We just flip it over to the other side, and now that lets us re-roll as many dice as we want. I'm just going to re-roll this one. Hopefully we can get a result that won't degrade my axe. Okay, there we go. There's a 1. The axe is fine, and we're going to get a twig. So we're going to get both a log and a twig. And when you interact with one of these spaces, you have to move down your exploitation marker. When it's on this final spot here, you can't interact with these things anymore. Now you can see on this log here, up here in the corner, it shows a twig. That means that you can use this as a twig if you wanted to in any of these recipes when crafting or whatever. It also shows this symbol here, which means we could use that item if we had it in order to flip this over, and then it would become something else, in this case, charcoal. And you can do that as a free action. Okay, there we go. We're down to 1 more action here. Unfortunately, I think we're just going to go hungry, but that'll be okay, I think. Let's just move over here. And I want to exploit this nature's gift. So we'll move this down and we'll just roll. Okay, we got a 4. So that's going to be one of those. So that's it. That's all of our actions. That's the action phase done. We're going to move now to the shadow phase. Now, this is where we would get attacked by any shadow creatures that we have. Those start appearing when our sanity starts falling. You'll see that in a little while, but right now we don't have any shadow creatures, so we're good. We can move on to the next phase, which is the daily needs phase. This is where we look at the leftmost marker there on our daily needs track. There it shows that it's actually daytime right now, and the only need we need to meet is 3 hunger. If we had anything that could reduce that, then we could use it now. We could, eat food and stuff to get rid of that hunger, but we didn't get any of that, so we're going to have to reduce our dial by 3. So we go from 8 to now 5. You can see at the end of the next round there, we're going to need 3 heat, we're going to have 3 hunger, and we're going to have 1 sanity loss. So we're going to have a lot more needs that we're going to want to take care of. Now we go to the weather phase. This is simple. We just look at our weather card up there. We have frostbite. It says that unprevented cold causes double loss of health. So that's a little special ability that's happening just this round. Now, if you look at the bottom of the card there, you can see there's these 3 snowflake symbols. And then there's 1 snowflake to the left of the lightning bolt. And then there's 2 to the right of the lightning bolt. Well, if you look at our daily needs track, you can see the lightning bolt there between the 3rd and 4th round. So because we're to the left of the lightning bolt, we only have to deal with 1 cold. If we had gotten this card in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round, we would have to deal with all 3. And then it shows that depending on how many of these colds we don't meet, we'll lose 1 health and 1 hunger if we have 1 snowflake that's unprevented. And then if we were to have 2 snowflakes that were unprevented, then we would jump up to losing 3 health and 3 hunger. And then if there's 3, it's 5 health and 5 hunger. And then if there were 4, it would be 8 health and 8 hunger. So luckily we only have 1. So the most that we could lose here is 1 health and 1 hunger. Now, how can we prevent this cold? Well, we have a couple ways of doing it. Luckily, Willow here has this lighter. And on her lighter card, it shows that she has a special ability where if she spends 2 ember, and we start the game with 3 ember, so we'll go ahead and spend 2 ember, and that's going to give us 2 light and -1 cold. And since we use the lighter, we're going to need to roll for its durability. Okay, we just show 1 break, and its durability is 2, so there we go. We don't damage the lighter. And you can see that special ability we can use either during the needs phase or during the weather phase. Now at the bottom right of that weather card, it shows a symbol there. And that symbol means that all raw food is going to rot. Now raw food is the ones that have that yellow banner at the bottom. So if we had any of that here on our board, it would go back into the supply. It would rot. There we go. That's the end of the weather phase. We now go on to the scenario phase. This is where we look at the scenario card, and it tells us that if the number of completed lines on this board are fewer or equal to the number of players, that's what that symbol means. So in our case, 1, which is the case, we have no lines. So we need to move the marker that's on card 504 1 space to the right. And there we go. We have basically 3 more rounds in order to complete this before that reaches the end and then something bad happens. And that's the end of round 1. We go back to the beginning, and now we do the preparation phase that we skipped during round 1. First thing we do is we draw a new weather card. We got defeated prey. So during the weather phase, we're going to be placing a death marker on all neutral monsters. And you can see, unfortunately, we're going to have 2 cold to deal with. That is not good. And then once again, everything's going to rot. We get to refresh our focus tokens, and that's based on our hunger level. So you can see on our hunger track here, if we were at full hunger, or like the least amount of hunger, we would get to refresh 2 focus tokens. Here we're between the 1 and the 2, so we get to refresh 1. And that was nice because we had used one. Problem is, if our hunger dips too much lower, then we're not going to be able to refresh these anymore, which is very bad. And then if your hunger gets all the way to the end, any extra hunger you take is going to cost you 2 health. We now get to resolve any player abilities that we have for this phase, and Willow does have one. It doesn't work though unless she's at 4 or less sanity. Right now she's at 6 sanity, so we can't use her special ability. And we just have to remove the leftmost of the daily needs tiles. So you can see now we've gone into night. So we were during the day, but now we're going to have 2 rounds at night. And at night, the needs are much more extreme. We can actually flip our dial over to the night side and give ourselves 6 more actions. And that's it. That's the preparation phase. We go right back to the action phase, and we're ready to take our 6 turns, just like we did before. And again, we're going to repeat that for 6 rounds. We have to complete our objectives by those 6 rounds. If it gets to the 6th round and we haven't completed our objectives, then we lose. I think for my first action, I'm going to move over to the forest and hack this haunted tree again. We have the axe, and those logs can be kind of hard to come by. And let's use our armor this time, just so we don't take any damage. Oh man, I kind of want to re-roll that again. Yeah, I'd rather have the twig, to be honest. But I need to save my re-rolls. Okay, fine. I won't re-roll it. So my axe is going to get damaged. And now this area has been dried up. I think for my next action, I'm going to explore here. So we just remove this, and I think I will take that forest. So we're going to get that fruit. Oh gosh. Now we reset the exploitation marker back to the middle. We have a hostile spider here. I will use my armor. Okay, didn't need to. But it didn't get damaged, so we're all good. We've been very good about hostility. I really need food. So I think I gotta move on. I'm kind of in a desperate search for food here. So I'm gonna move up here. Oh no, another forest. Graveyard, I don't need those sharp stones. I'll draw from the back. Bushy clearing. Surely I can craft something now. I've got a lot of stuff here. Scary pig, but he's not hostile. I really need some grass or straw or whatever it is. Yeah, for my 4th action, I'm coming up here. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that would actually give me some straw, so let's do that. We'll explore here. And he's hostile. We'll use my armor. Wow, we keep rolling this amazing. Now, this guy is going to make us lose a sanity. Because we rolled one of those. And you know what? I think it's time. Yep. I think it's time. I am going to build a weapon. One of these, one of these, one of these. Now, if you look on here, there's that little hand at the top. Anytime you're using items, you can use as many items as you want, but you can only use one that has that hand symbol. You can only use one that has the body symbol. If it doesn't have any of those symbols, then you can use as many of them as you want. So, for instance, I couldn't both use my axe and my spear here. But as my 5th action, I will attack this, whatever it is. I'm going to use my spear, I'm going to wear my armor, and I'm going to use my lighter. Right, the lighter doesn't have a hand symbol, so I can use it with the spear. Now, the way attacking works is we're going to look at the number here. This thing is hitting with 4. So we grab 4 of the enemy dice, and we're going to roll our character die. Okay? So now, in order to win this fight, we need to have more successes than the enemy has evades. And that's that blue one there, right? So right now, it has 2 evades. It also has 2 of those purples, which for it are going to give me -1 sanity. So we're getting hit for 2 sanity there. And then it also has 1 of those hits. That's going to do 2 damage. Now, my armor would protect me against that. Our successes are these yellow marks here. So with our spear, we have 3 successes. And then my lighter gives me an additional success. So that's 4 successes. And then actually what I rolled here gives me another success. So I have 5 successes minus their 2 evades. That's 3 successes. So we have won this fight. Now that's great, and I think I'm going to keep all of the monster dice just the way they are. I'm happy with that, but I'm not happy with this one because 1, we don't need that success, and that has those 2 broken swords. That would damage both my lighter and my spear. So I'm going to use one of my focus tokens. I could reroll as much as I want. I'm just going to reroll this one and hope to get something that won't damage my stuff because we just don't need those success. We don't need the success on the die. Okay, there we go. Now, this is basically a 0. During the day, we could make that any number we want. But because we're at night, then that counts as a 0. But it also doesn't have any of those symbols, so we won't be damaging our weapon or our lighter. So there we go. I think I'm happy with this. Now, we do have those 2 broken shields, and that is more than or equal to or more than my armor, so that is going to get damaged. So we're going to flip it over. If it gets damaged one more time, then we'll have to discard it. But we're not going to take that 2 damage because it got blocked by the armor. We are going to take 2 sanity loss because we can't block that. We're now at 3 sanity, and you can see on the dial there, it shows one of those shadow creatures. So we got to flip over our level 1 shadow creature. We have a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3 sort of assigned to us. This is showing that during that shadow phase, we're going to have to, because it's at night, this only occurs at night, we're going to need an extra light. We can use our lighter for that, so that should be fine. Now, I should mention during that fight, I do have some fight actions that I could use when I use my lighter. The problem is they cost ember, and I don't have the ember that I need. I only have 1 ember, so I couldn't use those. Like, for instance, I could spend 2 ember, and that 1 sword there means that I'd get to reduce the number of swords. So rather than rolling 4, I'd just be rolling 3. Okay, so that was very successful. Now, what do we get? Well, we look up here. First of all, we kill this monster. So we're just going to put a kill token on there to show that we killed it. And right here it shows there's a 1 and a 2. There's like a ×1 and a ×2. If we had failed to win, like if we didn't have as many successes as they had evades, we would have failed the fight, but we would still get something. So we would still get the stuff that's shown there. We'd only get 1 of them, though. Because we won, we get the ×2, the top part. So we're actually getting 2 tokens. 2 food tokens and 2 of that monsters token. Now this is cool. These are like teeth, I guess. And they can be used as that sharp stone, or they can be used as that tooth And I think there's something we can craft with that. Where is it? Oh yeah, right here. This armor here, that would give us cold protection. Ah, we just need some of that string. So we need to find a way to get that string. We could also use it, though, here to improve our spear. Turn it into that by discarding it and 2 of those, and we could use both of those, and then we'd have like a stronger weapon. Maybe something to think about, especially when our weapon gets damaged. That might be a good time to do that. Unfortunately, this isn't the meat that is needed for the feast, but we can eat it. Each one is going to give us a -1 to our sanity. I believe we're down to 1 more action. Now, we do have some stuff we can craft. It's kind of hard to see, so let me just pull this down. So we have 2 ways of, cooking these meatballs. We can use 1 of these meat and then 2 of that symbol. It's like a fruit symbol. And you can see at the top here, these meat can be used as a replacement for that. So we could like double meat. And then with this, we could craft a meatball. And you can see here the meatball gives us 3 food, which is what we need for our hunger. And then only 1 sanity loss. I hate to do that because the whole point of that was that we were going to give it to the feast. But it's probably more important that I eat. Yeah, so I think unfortunately, we're going to move to the portal space for our last action. Now, the action that we can take here is on the pig feast is to fulfill these demands. So this is where we have to go. And then, we could turn this in and put a marker on there to show that we've added that to the feast. I don't want to do that. Now, another thing that you can do when you're in the portal space is we have this home board here, and I haven't really talked about it. In the final game, between your scenarios, when you win a scenario, you will get to like upgrade your home board. And you'll have blueprints that you can complete, and you can put different things on here. Now, none of that is part of the prototype. So they've just included some cards that we can use as if we have done this, already. So this is just to kind of show off what the home board might be like. So I have a couple of simple areas where I can just get some twigs or some, straw. And then we also have this campfire. Now that campfire is going to come in very handy. But that's not an action. These 2 are actions where we can just get that resource. So I think for my action here, I moved over. I want to do an action here. I'm just going to get some straw. And then as a free action, I'm going to make some meatballs. You can do that anywhere. That means I'm going to have to use all 3 of these to cook that. Now, I should note, when I took this action, it does cost 1 of these essences. We start with 6 essence. So you can see it costs 1 essence to either take the action to get some straw or some twigs. And that's what this nightmare fuel is, or whatever it's called. We can turn that in to get 3 essence back. All right, that was my last action. That's the action phase done. We move to the shadow phase. We're at night, and so we got to deal with that 1 light. For every light that you don't deal with, it's a massive penalty. Yeah, you lose 5 health for every light that you're missing. And I only have 8 health, so you definitely want to make sure for sure you have enough light. For this one, I can just use my lighter. You can see it provides 1 light, but I will have to roll to see if it gets damaged. Okay, it doesn't. So there we go. We've taken care of our shadow. No big deal. Moving on to our needs. Now we have a 3 light need here. I don't have enough of my embers in order to use this ability here, which would give me 2 plus the 1 on the lighter. So that would be enough. But I don't have enough ember for that. So that's why I came back to this central tile so we could use our campfire. I can use my lighter, plus I can use a stick to heat it up to get 2. So that'd be 2 plus 1, that's 3. I'm going to have to roll for my lighter again. All right, no problem. I keep rolling that side. For For the 3 food, we'll eat our meatballs. That will cost us a sanity. We're now at 2 sanity, and that means our level 2 shadow creature is coming out. You just set it right below the first one like that, overlapping. And now we'll have to deal with both of those, but until the next round. And then we're actually losing another sanity. So our sanity has kind of collapsed here. Now we're going to the weather phase. We have to place a death token on every neutral creature. So that's this bee over here and this pig right here. Now, one thing I failed to mention is that if we were to attack this pig and, or even if we do this and we knock down their house, see how it shows a little pig token there? If we were to get any of those pig tokens, that would move the track to the right by 1. So it would hasten up the negative event that's going to happen. We kind of want to avoid angering the pigs at this point. They're the ones putting on the feast. We now have 2 of these cold icons to deal with. We're going to use the campfire. We can throw a log in there, and that's going to give us a -1. And once again, I could normally use my lighter with the special ability, and that would give me another -1, but I don't have the ember. So I think we're going to take a 1 cold damage. That means we're going to lose 1 health and 1 hunger. Not the worst thing in the world. And then again, everything would rot, but we got rid of all of our, raw food. Here the track just moves 1 to the right, and we're right back to the preparation phase in round 3. Our new weather card is Hypothermia. Okay, it looks like we only have 1 cold icon, so that's good. And any that are unprevented will actually make us lose some of our focus tokens. That's not good. We can still refresh 1 token there because our hunger is just okay. And now we can actually activate this because our sanity is low enough. Willow has a special ability here. We actually get to gain 1 ember. And then if it was possible to exploit the location we were on, we could exploit and gain another ember and a sanity. Unfortunately, you can't exploit here, so we don't get that. But we do at least get 1 more ember, so now we have the 2 ember that we would need to use the lighter in order to protect us from this cold. So as a little bit of a recap here, we have gone nearly completely mad. We're quite hungry, although we're not very injured. And we have not put a single thing towards this feast. Yeah, things could definitely be going better. But we do have 6 actions now. Still night. I think I just want to move over here and explore. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to draw from the back. All right, it's still those arrowheads. Oh no, looks like that's called a tall bird, and it's gonna do 3 damage for every hit. Whoa. Oh no, okay, but if it's at night, then it's 1 less. So it's only gonna do 2. Actually, this symbol means that 1 rolled hit should be negated during the night, not 1 damage from every rolled hit. I'll make this mistake a few times. Let's wear our armor. This might be the end of our armor. Oh, hey, nice. I will say we're getting very lucky with those hostility rolls. That has been the one shining aspect of this. Every time we do anything here, this guy is going to be attacking us. So I don't think this is a great area to be. I tell you what, let's just leave this place. Let's come up here. We're going to stay close. Okay, it's the same terrain. I'll draw from the back again. Do another explore. Okay, more rockland. Same thing. I have way more stone than I need. Once again, we'll use our armor. I swear. This is the luckiest I've rolled in a long time. Where is all the food? This one is at least not as dangerous. That would actually get us some good meat there, wouldn't it? It's all or nothing, though. If we fail, we get nothing. Should we attack this thing? I tell you what. As a free action, I'm going to craft this awesome upgrade here. So I have to spend my regular spear and 2 stone. But now my sword's even better. I'm probably going to lose my armor doing this, but that's fine. Let's attack this tall bird. Oh, shoot, and I'm just realizing I forgot when we did that last fight. It was here. Yeah, when we killed that thing. I used my lighter, and when I use my lighter in a fight, I get whatever the reward multiplier is, I get that back in ember. So I should have 2 more ember. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to do that. We will use our lighter. We use our sword. That's giving us 4 successes. And then the sword is subtracting 1 from that 5. So we're only going to roll 4 dice. And of course we have our armor. And we have some focus. So I think we should be fine. Oh, shoot. Wow. So this rolled fine. So let's focus, and we're gonna re-roll basically all of those monster dice. We can re-roll as much as we want with each one of these tokens. Yeah. Let's try that again. Oh my goodness. So we're taking 1 less because it's night, but that would still be 4 damage. Let's re-roll again. We'll keep that. Okay. There we go. That is what we're talking about. Because we have 4 successes here with the lighter and our thing. That's 1, 2, 3 dodges, because we'll choose dodge there, or evade, or whatever they call it. And the 1 hit, that'll just be absorbed by our armor. Our armor will get destroyed. So that's got to go back. But that's a success. So we get this meat. And we get a tall bird token, which gives us what? That can be used for the string. Oh boy, that is what we needed. I did not realize that was going to give us string. And then we actually get 1 ember. So we've maxed out our ember. That's awesome. Glad I remembered that. We have 3 actions left. We could now mine in peace, but with that string, we actually have some choices to make. Because that string would help with... Yeah. We could get the fishing rod and come over here. I now kind of want to come down here and try to get that egg. But we'd have to roll a 4 or 5, so it's not a guarantee. That string can also be used for some really useful things. Like this. Oh, we might have to build this here because that would give us -1 to the cold. And if we use it during the weather phase, we'd get a sanity back. And our sanity is so low. That seems like a must. We could also just get this, which does the same thing, and it's a hat. So we could wear this for the cold, and then we could also build, you know, an armor. This is too good. We'll craft this. Still haven't put anything into the feast, so it's still not going great in that sense. What kind of armor could I get? I could get this armor here. I don't need this wood anymore. Yeah. So, oh yeah. So we're also going to build this. This is exciting. Use this wood and this straw. Now I wonder if we are strong enough to attack this tall bird. Be rolling 6 dice. That's the really scary thing. But I could spend 2 of my ember and make that a -1, so that would be 5 dice. Okay, you know what? I am going to do that. We're coming down here. We're going to attack this tall bird. And I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to spend all 5 of my ember with the lighter. That's going to subtract it by 2. And we're going to get 2 successes. Then with this, we're subtracting it by another 1. So that's 3. So this 7 becomes 4. And then here, we'll actually get to remove one of the dice that we roll. So, and we also get 2, 5, 6 successes. So this is going to be fantastic, I think. And if you look up here, when we defeat this guy, we're going to get 2 of each of those. Okay, once again, rolled good there. I think we killed it. Look at this. Yeah, we absolutely killed it because I can remove this one and then I'm not taking any damage at all. We have plenty of successes. That's a kill. We're getting 2 of this meat now. And 2 of these. You can see up there, we're getting 2 of our ember back because it's a 2 times multiplier. Nothing got damaged at all. That was just 100% success. Yeah, I want to get that fruit there. So I'm going to interact here. And then we can roll. If I roll a 4 or a 5, then I can get that bird. That's a 3. I will come back here for my last action, and I'll just get another twig. And then I'm going to use all this, and I can actually cook 2 meatballs. So I can cook one with this. And with those 2, because I can use one of the meat as the fruit. Now the good thing about these meatballs is they won't rot. So I can eat one of them now, and then one of them in round 4 if I want to. Well, those are my actions. We've got to deal with these shadow guys. It's night, so I need a light. We'll use the lighter. Let's roll for it. Okay, that's good. Just one of those, and it has a durability of 2, so it doesn't get damaged at all. Now down here, I have to roll 2 of these. And you can see its stats down there. Each hit will do 2 damage. I'll use my armor. Okay, that's 1 hit, but my armor lets me remove 1. I shouldn't have negated the entire die, just the hit symbol. So my armor should have been damaged here. I probably would have re-rolled the die using a focus token. So that is no hits. That armor is so good. It's amazing. All right, so now we need 2 light. I think rather than spending my ember, I will just spin this wood at the fireplace. That gives me the 2 light I need. I'll eat one of these meatballs. sanity goes all the way down to 0, and then I lose 2 additional sanity. But here's the good thing. When your sanity is at the bottom, it's fine. You can't lose any more. You just are insane. It does mean I have to bring out my 3rd shadow card. So you can see there with those stats, it gets a lot worse. Now the weather card, we only need to deal with one of those cold icons, and we have our jacket here that's doing that. So boom, we don't have to spend our ember. Things would rot, but we don't have anything. We now have 1 round in order to fill out all this food. I don't think we're going to make it. But we are surviving. That is at least positive. Ooh, we got glaciers. Each character with a pickaxe can break it to gain 2 of that fruit stuff and 1 stone. We're now on the other side of that lightning bolt, so we're going to have to deal with 3 cold icons. And if you look at the world event there, that symbol means regrowth. That means that every one of these biomes that we've revealed, we're going to get to move their exploitation marker all the way up to the top. And it means that the food that we collect won't rot. It also turns back into day. And I'm going to get 1 ember. But once again, I can't exploit the space I'm on, so I only get 1. Oh, but I forgot. When I use this, I get 1 sanity back. So that means that level 3 goes away. I only need to have 1 sanity to get rid of that level 3, so that's good. Time for the 4th round, and like I said, I don't think we're going to be able to gather up all 5 of the stuff that we need. I mean, we could go here and get that, and we could fish here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. For my first action, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to get a twig. And then I'm going to craft myself a little head warmer here. Ear warmers. And I am realizing when I use this, I think I forgot to roll for it. Ooh. So it gets damaged. And then the other thing I forgot to do is, because of my hunger, I can gain 1 of my reroll tokens back. So we'll get rid of this and 1 of the string. So there we go. So now I have ear warmers and this, so that will take care of 2 cold. And then I can use my lighter for the 3rd one. So I'm covered with the cold. So if we're going to ignore the food thing and we're just going to deal with the negative consequences that come, what do we want to do? Do we want to get our sanity up? We could come over here, get our sanity up. Could get a pickaxe. Yep, could definitely get a pickaxe. Yeah, I think because of that glacier card, let's get a pickaxe. I need another wood. So we'll take that action here. I can also, as an anytime action, use this to get 3 of our essence back. Okay, now I'll get a pickaxe. That's 7 cards, so an 8 is our max. And now with that pickaxe, I could come over here. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to come over here, and we'll use our pickaxe to interact with this. That's going to give us that hard-to-get stone. And then we have to roll. We'll either get... Oh, we can get some gold here. That'd be nice. Okay, pickaxe is pretty durable. Oh my god, I keep rolling that. I want to save my re-rolls, so we'll just take it. We damage the pickaxe a little bit, but we do get some gold. And that gold can be used as either type of rock. And we can also use it to repair our tools. Oh wow, and I could also use all of that to get this really good armor. So we move that down. This place has become completely exploited. I might just want to explore here. Got the food that I need. Yeah, let's just explore here. So that'll be our next action. I think I'll take the bottom card. Okay, Savannah, get some straw. Two more actions left. Hey, at least it's not hostile. This was not exactly what I was looking for. Let's go up here and explore. Or I could go down here and explore. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's go down here and explore. Into the forest. I don't want to go to that graveyard, so I'll draw from the back. Okay. Get the twig I wanted. Got another pig. Yeah, I kind of want to attack this pig. Kamika's always only rolling 3 dice. Yeah, let's do it. So we're going to attack this pig. It's our last action. I will spend 2 ember. So we get that 1 sword, plus that sword, minus the 5. So that's just 3. We'll use our armor as well. Yeah. With my armor, I can remove that. Now, I'm actually wondering if these hit symbols still apply. I mean, these damage symbols. I was kind of interpreting that as it's removing the die, but actually it might just be removing that symbol. Okay, I'll play as if that is how this works. So that will be damaged. My armor will get damaged, but we can negate that so that doesn't happen. And then those are just 2 evades, but we have 4 success. And the weapon and the lighter don't get damaged. Boom. That's a ×2. So we'll get 2 ember back, 2 meat, and 2 pigs. We are filled up here. Now, because of that pig symbol, that marker moves all the way to the rightmost spot. Or I guess that's going to happen here in a second. Not quite yet. So let's go through. Let's resolve our shadow people. It's not the knight, so we don't have to worry about that light. But we do have to roll 2 dice. We'll use the armor. That seems like a good time to re-roll. Okay, much better. That's going to be a nothing. We'll eat our meatballs. So that takes care of our hunger. We will go down to 0. And now weather. We have a pickaxe. So we can gain some stuff. So before that happens, because I don't have room for it right now, let's spend... Honestly, let's just eat both of these meats. That's going to give us 4 hunger back. So we're maxed back out there. Now we have room. Now we have more stone than we know what to do with. And we'll use both of these. That gives us 2 cold symbols, and then boom, boom. That gives us the 3rd. So we're covered. We have to roll. Okay, there we go. So no damage. We got all our coldness needs met. And then for the world event, regrowth, all of these move up to the very top spot. Amazing. And now here comes the big thing. We move that marker, it gets to the end, And we are told that when the scenario marker reaches the end, discard all other scenario cards, including 502, and then reveal 506. So we have failed at the feast, and there are now going to be repercussions. Now, before I read this card, I want to make it clear that there are going to be spoilers here. If you don't want to be spoiled in this scenario, please leave now. All right, here we go. War Pigs. The feast is delayed and punishment due. The town wants you dead. It sucks to be you. But just as you think that there's no hope in sight, it clicks in your head, they're scared of the night. Okay, so it looks like we're placing 507 on the portal space. So this is Hog Havoc. So as long as this card's revealed, we can't use our home base structures. That's annoying. And then we have an action we can take here. Okay, using a hammer, we can smash down their torch, and then we'll reveal 508. And then we also need to place an angry pig on here. So that's a hostile enemy that's here. That's gonna be trouble. It also says that all revealed pigs are now considered hostile. Luckily we killed this guy, so he can't bother us. We need to deal with the preparation phase. Okay, we got a blizzard here. Oh no, 4 cold. But it says that each character that's on a sort of forest terrain rolls a character die and could maybe get some wood. It's still day, so we don't have that many demands. Because my hunger is totally up on top, I can refresh 2 of my focus tokens. That's going to be useful. And my character ability here, I get 1 ember, and then because I can exploit this location, I get another ember and a sanity. And that means that the level 3 shadow can go away. So right away, I think we have everything that we need in order to build that hammer. Oh yeah. Twig, straw, stone. So heck, for our first action, we can just come over here and destroy the pig torch. We have a hostile creature, so they will get a little hostility. And we'll roll for durability. Ooh, so that on this pig does count as a hit. But I believe my armor can take care of that, so that shouldn't be a problem. So we get 2 wood. That's the good wood. That's the logs. A few brave porks. The torches are gone, and so is the light. The swine squeal in horror and scatter in fright. But some hold their ground, unshaken by dread. It seems they won't stop till the ground runs blood red. So for each character, place another pig on the portal tile, and once they're all defeated, we draw 509. Okay. So we have 2 to take care of. We have 5 actions to do it. So let's take a gander at what we can craft. Oh, here we go. We have a nice hat here that would protect us. Yes, that's what we want. So we can spend both of these pigs and get this hat. I'll get rid of the pickaxe. Oh, I could get this awesome armor. Yeah. Let's do that. We're going to get this awesome armor and replace our wooden armor with it. We can spend this. We can use the gold as the other stone. Okay, lots of crafting. But now we are ready for war. These pigs are not going to know what hit them. So let's attack. We'll attack one of these pigs. I'll spend 2 ember. Oh, this is giving me -1 success. I did not realize that. But I'm still getting 3 success, so I still think it's fine. The pig's only rolling 3 dice. All right. Oh, okay, there we go. We can actually make that a hit, and then we can get rid of one of those hits. That's one. Oh, wow. Okay, actually, this is interesting. Those two are both hits and dodges, as you can see there. So that's a dodge, dodge, dodge. That's 3 dodges. We're making that a hit. And then these are also hits. I can get rid of one of those. So 1 hit goes through for 2 damage. I can protect that with my hat. So I take no damage, and because of that extra success, we now have 4 successes to 3 dodges or evades. That means we're left with 1 success left over. That means we succeed. Wow. Now the negative thing is that both my lighter and my weapon get damaged. But the armor does not. So that's pretty good. And that pig is dead. And we get a meat. I just realized something I did wrong. When you're fighting these monster tokens, you add up the value on all the monster tokens that are there. So we weren't just fighting this guy, we're also fighting that guy, which means we need to roll 5 more dice. Okay. So this battle is not over yet. Now we can re-roll. And I think we're going to have to just accept the evades. That's just going to happen. So we'll turn that into an evade. And each of these purples is a hit. So 1, 2, 3. We'll evade, 4. 4 hits. I can remove 2 of them. So that'll be 2 hits. That's 4 damage. I can get rid of 4 damage, so I take 2 damage. And the evades are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. So technically, we lose the battle. I am going to take 2 damage. And because of that, my hat is going to get damaged. But this has a durability of 2, so that's not going to get damaged. Now, because we lost, and because there were multiple tokens, we get to remove one of the tokens. So we lost the battle, but we did manage to kill one of the pigs. So we get to flip that over and take the reward. Okay, that could have been worse. And now we'll just go again. Now we're just attacking the 1. I don't have enough ember to do this. So it'll just be 5 minus 1 die, so 4 dice. And we'll be using all of our stuff just like last time. So we're technically at 3 successes. And in this case, we really do need to succeed. We can't fail. Okay. Now we can re-roll. This is bad because that is 2 dodges. So we would have to make that a hit, which is fine. That's 3 hits. 2 of them we can make go away. So that's 1 hit. That's just 2 damage. I think we'll just take that. We have 3 successes. So we succeed. 3 minus 2. Oh, wait, that's also a hit. So actually, we're taking 2 more damage. I should probably re-roll this, because this is like the worst possible result. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Now I can choose dodge, dodge, right? 2 hits, and I don't take any damage. That's so much better. Our hat gets destroyed, but it served its purpose well. And there we go. This pig is dead. A cold fare thee well. The battle is over. The fighting is through. The king turns his back without bidding adieu. The pigs lift his rickshaw and rush down the hill. At least you've a moment to sit back and chill. Place this card on the portal tile, and we can enter the portal. Remove your character from the map. Once all characters have entered the portal, you win. Well, there you go. We will just take that action right away, walk through the portal, and we have survived the feast. I'm now kind of happy that we provided them with 0 food. That was great. And there you have it. That was a complete solo playthrough of Don't Starve the board game. Remember, the Kickstarter campaign begins on September 30th, so go ahead and click on the link in the description below if you're interested. I'd like to thank all of the financial supporters of Totally Tabled, including the totally radical Hextra, John Kohler, Scott Myers, and Jay Satterwhite, as well as the totally bodacious Jeff Fitzsimmons. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can join on YouTube or my Patreon at www.patreon.com/totallytabled. You'll gain access to my new exclusive podcast, Table Talk, as well as unboxing videos and whatever extra stuff I come up with. As always, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.